Greetings! Today I am going to kind of show you how to play and give my thoughts on Aqua from Sunrise Tornado, designed by Tate Wu, I believe it's pronounced. So join me back here after you listen to some music and I do that brief kind of tutorial. Alright, so one person's going to score for columns, one person's going to score for rows. So they suggest that you sit next to each other, so one person here and one person here, so you're looking at the way that you're scoring. You're then going to shuffle this up. Deal one out, and then based on the number on it, if it's odd or even. If it's odd or even, we'll determine who goes first. Seeing as it's odd, you're going to put a face down one underneath it, and the row player will go first. Otherwise, you would place one next to it, and the column person would go first. Each person is going to get 3 cards, and then on their turn, they're simply going to look at their hand, and they're going to put a card down. If you put it next to a face up, it goes face down. If you put it next to a face down, it goes face up. When a face down card is fully surrounded, you're going to flip it face up. Typically, you're just going to place a card down and then draw. However, when you play boat, you're going to grab 2 cubes. You're going to put them on the card. And then starting with the player who played it, you can move these cubes up to 3 spaces orthogonally away, and then your opponent will do the same with another cube. You're going to go through everything until all the cards are played out, and then you'll be scoring on a couple of different things. Again, looking at the columns or the rows, depending on which player you are. You're going to look, and only columns or rows that have a number between 10 and 20 points will score. For this top part, you're going to look at pairs, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, of these 3 symbols and the number. Then you're going to look for turtles, and they're going to score 2 points if they have 1 water adjacent to them in the direction you're looking, or 5 if there's 2. You then are going to look at your consecutive columns or rows that have the lily pads on them and score those victory points. Most points wins the game. So that is a brief overview. Now let's go hear what I think of Aqua. Alright, so hopefully that gives you an idea of how Aqua is played. It's kind of this tense 2-player tug-of-war game where you're putting out cards and you're trying to choose, am I going to try and blow up this row or column on my opponent and hope that they don't do it for me? But then you also kind of got to stagger how you build your rows and columns, because you need to be able to score or have it between 10 and 20 so it scores to those other ones. So you can't just put like low numbers. You have to kind of play that tug-of-war battle. Also, memory aspect. You're putting face down cards. You gotta remember which one it was that you put down, what was the symbol, what was the number. So that kind of adds that cool element. That being said, I will let you know we are looking at a preview copy. This is going to be going to Kickstarter here relatively soon. I will put a link in the description down below to that. Alright, so that was kind of some of my thoughts. Let me get really into what my thoughts are on the game. First off, artwork. Beautiful. From what he was saying, these are paintings that he did. Put them on as the cards, and it's just stunning artwork. That is the first thing we noticed when we got the game, is how great all of the cards look. The thing we did notice is it almost seemed like the person playing columns was easier to grasp for us mentally than the person playing rows. That was probably just us though, because look at, there really is no difference except the cards are long on one side and short on the other. It shouldn't make a difference, but for some reason our brains it did. But still, it had that cool dynamic of looking this way, but still having to think that other way, because you are still trying to block them from scoring points. So like I have this lily pad, I could put it here, but do I want to put it more here so that way it's still in the same row as them? That way they're not getting those lily pads. So it's kind of a cool spatial puzzle and memory game where you're almost pressing your luck like, ooh, this card scores a lot, but it's a higher number. I'm going to put it here and hope that these other numbers don't push it over to where I can't score it. So it is that really cool, tense feeling, push your luck of trying to mitigate where you put stuff. The other thing we like, it's a small, portable box. When you play it, it can get massive, but I don't see why you can, especially if you sleeve them. Just take this out, play it at dinner, play it at a bar, if you're sitting around having a drink. It kind of is very portable because there is no board. Your board is wherever you are, and it gets as big as you are. So if you're in a smaller table, that may just add a whole new dimension too, because you can't expand out how you are. So you are going to be working at more of a grid pattern. Outside of that, the only other thing that we found a little weird for us was the cubes moving around. Again, that's where that memory aspect comes in, is if you don't remember the card you put down, you want to move a cube to a specific card, you got to remember where that face down one is. But other than that, we did enjoy it. So go ahead and check out the Kickstarter campaign and see if this is something that you might be interested in. Until next time, I am the Groom, asking you to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and check out the description, not only for the link to seeing Aqua, but also the link to our Patreon and information on our podcast. Thank you.